Presence is the key to pleasure. It's the key to true, deep enjoyment of life. If you can't be present in your body and in the moment, it's very difficult to get to savor and truly enjoy the richness that life has to offer. Your senses are dull when you're disembodied, when you're not present. You're disconnected. It's like there's a foggy lens between you and reality. This is all too common, a default state of being for so many of us. This is something I've struggled with much in the past, many times in the past, of feeling disconnected from reality in a way where it was like I was trapped inside my own head. And there were these layers of crap between me and reality, between me and presence, between me and my body, between me and pleasure and joy and satisfaction. So there is a common thread, sort of recommendation, that cultivating presence is the key to development, is the key to happiness, and all of these things. And I agree, by and large, that your ability to be present in the moment, in the right now, is going to inform so much of your ability to enjoy the good things in life. But here's the thing about presence. Here's the thing about extreme embodiment, about being extremely in touch with the here and now, is it can really hurt. And when you're really present with what is, it is often the case that whatever within your sphere, within your body, mind, heart, soul, immediate reality, that is harsh or negative, is what is going to bloom into your immediate awareness first. As you become more aware, as you become more present, you become more aware of pain. And when you become more aware of pain, you want to reflexively pull back and disconnect again and disembody and cut yourself off from that experience because it hurts, right? It makes sense. It's a human thing to do. Want to withdraw from pain. We don't want to feel it. But the cost of withdrawing from pain is that we numb ourselves, and we numb ourselves to joy and true pleasure. So part of developing yourself into a person with a high enough tolerance for pain and discomfort so that you can be present enough to be really in touch with what is, so you can be present enough to enjoy the beauty that life has to offer. You have to be strong. Strength is the virtue and the quality that enables us to stay present when it's uncomfortable. And this is why, for me, strength training specifically has been so fundamental to my ability to become more embodied and more mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically present in the here and now. Strength training isn't the only modality that we can practice presence in, but the art of strength training, the entire premise of it, is to expose yourself to higher and higher levels of discomfort to increase your strength capacity. That is how strength training works. Increase weight, increase intensity, increase discomfort. Raise your power, raise your threshold, raise your output. And the metaphysical, spiritual version of that is not that different of a process. It is about raising your threshold to discomfort or for discomfort. It is about slowly increasing the amount of discomfort you can handle so you can raise your discomfort capacity overall. And you do this so you can become internally strong enough to be present, to be able to hang out in those moments of risk and vulnerability and what the hell is going on right now? When you raise your tolerance for that, you start to get to access a dimension of experience that is thrilling and fun and beautiful. And it's like that, it enhances our ability to be able to listen to what is going on around us without neurotically scanning for what's wrong. Because we trust that if something wrong comes up, we'll be able to handle it. We'll be able to stay present with it and not shut down. It will pass over us like a wave, and we will remain. That is what strength gives you. And training that quality physically can be a gateway, a tool to train that quality internally. Especially to my mind, if you know that that's what you're doing. If you can trust that this external process is having this internal effect on you. And then the next time you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation or with an uncomfortable awareness that's making you want to pull away, you may be able to remember, wait a second. I'm strong enough to handle this. What happens if I stay engaged? What happens if I stay present and don't freak out? What happens if I don't take this personally and I just listen for what's happening? So strength is the quality and the virtue and the activity that helps us cultivate the ability to be present. And when we can be present, we can enjoy and experience so much more. And this is something that you will find out by trying and experimenting with. In your life, this is going to look like things that make you a little anxious, things that stretch the edges of your comfort zone. And they don't have to be big. In fact, they often should not be. In strength training, if you take too big of a jump in weight, your body just shuts down. It just won't perform. The weight just won't move. If I try to jump from deadlifting 315 to 405, I'm not at a level where I could make that jump right now. If you train hard enough and in a certain way, you could. But that's not where we start, obviously, right? You can go up to 405 and give it a tug. It's not going anywhere. And if you try too hard to move it, you will hurt yourself. But this isn't to say that we need to walk around also being afraid that we're going to hurt ourselves, right? We just have to develop discernment and a compassionate self-understanding that acknowledges the reality of small increments being a good way to do things. It's simply an effective way. It's a way that you can improve upon every single day. Every single day. You can pick a different area of your life and just stretch the edges a little bit, right? Of just walking right up to that edge of where you're and just doing one little thing. And in the gym, that's what we do. Every session, you just push it a little bit more. That's why you track your numbers. Because sometimes your feeling perception of how hard something is not accurate. It'll feel harder than it actually is sometimes when we're tired. There have been many times where it was a coach or a training partner or just my own higher self being like, I know you feel tired, but you need to put more weight on that. You can handle more. And I did. And I was like, whoa, And I surprised myself and I was able to do it. So there's also something to, having the feedback mechanisms, the support to be able to push yourself in this way. But this is ultimately like what developing strength is about. It's developing your tolerance for reality. And in developing your tolerance for reality and the nasty stuff, you make yourself so much more capable of enjoying the good stuff. And then that also enhances your ability to appreciate the experiences that are less fun, how they make you feel, what they make you experience of yourself. When you shut down reflexively, you don't always gain that insight from that extreme experience or from that negative experience. But when you're present with something that hurts, you can actually learn from it. If you don't recoil, if you don't pull away and just stay with it, sometimes it'll really reveal and teach you things that you would not have learned otherwise. Strength helps us develop presence. Presence is the whole point. It's what we're here for. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment, hit like, subscribe, notifications, etc. Have an amazing, amazing day.